Hi, my name is Lisa Johnson, and you found your way to my personal roadmap. It's a combination of a planner and a game and a work of art. And I offer it to you as the best tool that I've ever found to plan for my life. I hope it will be as useful for you as it is for me. With the planner itself, the roadmap that you can use every week, there's also a PDF of the guide, and you'll get this very brief video description from me. So this is the blank roadmap. This is the one you'll want to print out each week to plan your week ahead with soul and character and art and creativity and depth. And the version I'm going to use with you mostly today in this video is this one. This is the guide version. It's the guide to how to use the roadmap. This is a very brief overview of it. So if you want to learn more, I do have a longer video that you can participate in if you want, and a live session each week that you can participate in. Once you print the blank one out, you're going to start with where the one is down here, where it says when. And let's say it's Monday morning and you're preparing for your new week. So the first question is, what went really well last week that I can bring with me into this week and help give me positive momentum? Big or small, personal or business. Obviously, this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So you're just going to write one or two words that are meaningful to you. Then you're going to move to skills. This left-hand circle is really all about where you are right now. So the question is, what skills do you have that you're going to use and build on this week? Practice acknowledging what your skills are, because you're going to need those skills to build something new this week, right? 3 is your assets. What assets are you going to lean on and rely on for support this week? It usually takes the form of time, money, and support, but it could be space, it might be equipment, or it might be people that are going to coach you and support you. Number 4 is, how do you feel right now? Not what do you think, or what do you think about what you think, or what you think about what you feel. The actual feeling. How do you feel in your body, in your mental state, your psychological state, your soul, your spirit, however you want to describe it for yourself? How do you feel? And if that's an uncomfortable question, good. This is a good practice to develop the ability to acknowledge and understand how you actually feel, because feeling how we feel can be sometimes a far superior guide to what we think. Then we're going to move to a little bit more challenging ones, 5 and 6. So 5 is failures, and people tend to put a lot of weight on the word failure. And in working with me, we're going to use the word failure a lot, because failure to me means I didn't predict accurately the way it was going to go. And of course, with a world full of infinite possibilities, of course, when I pick one path that I'm going to aim for, of course, I'm not going to get that right all the time. All of our little failures, we're going to fail fast and often in our work and even in our personal lives. And so all our little failures are things that didn't go the way we thought. We're going to learn from it, and we're going to pivot, and we're going to get back in the game. So this little spot number 5 is for what has not gone as we predicted recently that we're going to learn from and pivot on this week. Number 6 is, similarly, if we're honest with ourselves right now, what are we afraid of? Now, we're not going to live in fear, and we're not going to live in failure, but we are going to get good at shining a flashlight on these things. If you know what your sort of gut fear is, and you can write down a word or two of it, then this week you are going to be able to free yourself from it on a daily basis with action. If you don't acknowledge that the fear is there, it's much harder to remember to ask for help with it or to connect with others about it, right? When we do this live on Monday mornings, we do it actually together over 45 minutes. And so I pause, and there's time for you to write your answers down. I'm just going to give you a very brief rundown of how this works, which you can replay and pause anytime you want. Okay, so then the green section on the left is how we are right now, like a snapshot in time of right this moment. Now we're going to move to the right-hand side of the roadmap. And over here is how we want to feel on, let's say, if our week is Monday morning to Sunday night. This right-hand side is what we want to have be different by Sunday night. Number 7 It's our one outcome. Now, I go into this much more in the other video, but just briefly, you cannot catch two rabbits at once. You can catch one rabbit and then you can catch another rabbit. But if you try to catch 3, 4, 5, 6 rabbits all at the same time, you're not going to catch any. Now, I am a multipod. I love doing everything and all at once. But this is a discipline that has been my friend. I am going to do everything I want to do in my life. I imagine. But this week, I am going to work toward achieving one thing. I'm going to aim my whole week toward this one outcome. Now, if you aren't good at picking this outcome yet, that's okay. It's a practice. You'll get better at it every week that you do it. Don't let perfectionism take over here, but you do want to pick the most logical thing you can think of right now. That's the highest leverage goal you can think of that will give you the life that you want, right? So one outcome for this week. Once you have your one outcome, now you're going to go to number 8. And the question is, if you want to have that outcome, what asset do you need to build in order to get there? We're not just going to look at how we spend our time and checklists and calendars and appointments and stuff. We're going to talk about assets, building assets in our lives. Now the asset might be, I'm going to make a new page on my website, or I'm going to add an email autoresponder, or I'm going to take photos or make a video. There are all kinds of assets you might be building, or you might be building a house, or you might be building a relationship. I can't know what asset is right for you because it depends on what your outcome is. So what assets do you need to build to reach the outcome that you want? Similarly, number 9 is, what skills do you need to learn and add to your toolbox so that you can achieve the one outcome you want in number 7. Then we're going to move to number 10, and here come the fears again. And this is where we're going to shine the flashlight. So let's say it's Monday morning, right? And we're talking about this whole week to come in our lives. We're going to now shine a flashlight real briefly on the week ahead and predict what fears are likely to come up for us if we're going to reach for this audacious goal that we've set in number 7. Just spend a second, write down a note about them. If you can name the fear, if there's a name for it, that means other people have had it. That will also help you to ask for help with them during the week. Same with failures. You can predict what red lights you're going to hit on the way to this one outcome, right? You can predict what things might not go exactly the way you imagine in your fantasy life, right? Expect the challenges. They're a predictable part of trying to do something new. Then we're going to go to number 12. And this is, what feelings do you want to feel by Sunday? You know what you feel right now because you just wrote that in number 4. But now we're talking about aspirationally, how do we want to feel? Remember, this piece of paper isn't just a checklist of tasks. This piece of paper is representing a week of your wild and precious life. So this is a week of your life that you're never going to get back. So how you want to feel about your life is really important, right? So what would you like your life to feel like on Sunday? And hopefully even every day of the week between now and then. All right, so now what we've done is we've acknowledged our starting place, and we've acknowledged the place we want to end up. And now we're going to build a roadmap to that. Now we're going to go to 13. Do you see 13? It's this tiny little thing in the bottom right. It says 13, not on back. Now, what does that mean? What that means is, on the back of this paper, you're going to write the word not. And then under it, you're going to write all the things that you are not going to do this week, because they are not in alignment with the direction from where you are now to where you've just said you want to be on Sunday night. This week, I'm not going to do this, and this. I'm going to put them in this parking lot. This way you won't forget them, right? So you don't have to worry about them because you've got them written down. When you start feeling tempted, you're going to remind yourself, not this week. Now, this is where most people start their planning process for the week, if they have one, is they start making a list of things they're going to do. Well, I hope you can see that now, when you make a list of the things you're going to do, it's far more soulfully informed. Now you're going to go to 14. This is, what action steps will you take this week to reach your one outcome? So in these individual blocks, you're going to write down a step that you're going to do sometime this week. things that in the scope of the week you want to get done in order to get you to your outcome. So I'm going to go back to your assets. Like if you needed to build assets, well, then the time you need to allot some space and time to build those assets. If you have skills that you know you need to learn, you're going to dedicate one or more of those spaces to learning the skill, implement the training, sit down and build the thing, right? You're going to put those things in here. I advise you to have at least one of them, maybe up to 3, be about self-care, because it won't help you any if you burn yourself out doing. I mean, we all know this, right? We're going to move over to this other little section in the bottom left, and that is the days of the week. R means Thursday for me. This is a game. Remember I told you this is partly a game? So my game is, it's kind of like Candyland for my life, right? I'm going to go from the left-hand circle to the right-hand circle, and I'm going to make a game out of the whole process. I am motivated by color, and I organize things by color in my life. So let's say Monday is green, right? I'll put a little green circle with my green marker where the M is, and that reminds me that Monday is green. And so I reward myself with color when I've done the thing on one of these blocks in my list. So if I accomplish the block on Monday, then I'm going to color it in some way with green. I might color in the whole box. I might make a star. I might make a spiral or a circle or a whatever I want, a check mark, a happy face. I use markers, but you can use stamps or stickers, or you can just cross it off. It's whatever is rewarding for you. I am motivated and rewarded by color. And so that helps me organize things, and it also helps me feel happy. It makes this piece of paper actually into a work of art. And so I recommend to you that if you like color and you want to make this piece of paper a work of art the way you're making your life the most important work of art, then you can reflect it on here with color if that interests you. This is the blank version that you're filling in. This is just the guide to remind you how it works, right? As you accomplish each thing, give yourself some kind of reward, whatever it is in your life. A lot of games give you points from the game maker, right? Well, I'm a grown woman and I don't need anybody else's points. What's rewarding to me is to have my insides match my outsides, to have my life actually be the life that I want my life to be. If it helps you to give yourself points for each thing you cross off, you do that, and like at a certain number of points, you get yourself some other reward. Whatever works for you to make this a game that you can't wait to play and that you want to like win at. Now, we don't win at it in this game by beating anyone else. In the quality of our own lives, what matters is the quality of our own lives. It's an inside job, right? My hope is that you'll be able to take this sketch that I've put out for you and use it to make your actual life the work of art that you want it to be. Now, if this is helpful to you and you'd like more about it, you will see the option to buy my video where I really go into this in much more detail. And then also you'll see the option to join me live on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern time, where I do a live Zoom with anyone who wants to join, and you can pay and just come one time just to see how it works live, or you can come a couple of times, or you can come every week if you want. I would love to have your company on this journey. It's a practice. It's not something to set up as a perfection thing that you're going to fail at. I hope you will make this a rewarding and fun journey. I would love to be any part of that journey for you that's useful to you. And I just wish you the absolute best. Thanks for coming on the ride.